Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Thank you guys so much for coming back to another video. If it's your first video, guys, welcome to this channel, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back to another video, guys. Now I'm gonna be doing a well requested video right now, guys. The video that I'm gonna be doing is spousal open work permit process for your common law spouse. So a lot of persons have been asking me to talk a little bit about this topic, and I'm just gonna get into it in a little bit more detail. Bearing in mind, guys, I'm not an immigration consultant, lawyer, affiliate, past worker, ex-worker, future, whatever the case may be, and this is not legal advice. This is advice that's just based on my own process and the experience of other persons who I know personally who have been through the process as well. So take it with a grain of salt is what I'm saying. But whatever you do, always remember that immigration is always changing and nothing beats your own research. Now with that being said, guys, be sure to smash a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already, guys, and share and drop a comment. Okay, now let's get into the video. So you have gotten approved for your study permit, your work permit, or whatever the case may be. Congratulations on that. Now that's a significant achievement in of itself. Now you want your family to join you. I'm outside, guys, so there's so many spiders all around me, so forgive me for batting away insects. Anyways, you want your family to join you in Canada. The first thing you need to know is that yes, it's very possible for your spouse and dependent children to join you in Canada as an international student or even as a temporary worker here in Canada. And the government of Canada and IRCC has even made it possible for farm workers to have their family join them while they're in Canada. So that's something that I'm not gonna really dive deep down in right now in terms of how you, as a farm worker, you can get your family here. But as a temporary worker, whatever the capacity, even on a closed work permit, you can definitely get your family here with you. And the process is generally the same. Now, the application is an open work permit application for spouse, right? So it's actually called a spousal open work permit. Now, that work permit allows your spouse to work full-time or part-time, depending on their preference, with any employer in the province, in the city, or even in Canada. Some work permit has specifications to say that you can only work in this particular province, while others just don't limit you and you can work wherever. Very important to know that. Now, with that being said, what are the processes or documentation that you need for your common law partner to join you in Canada? Now, if it is that you are married, let me just say that it's very easy to prove relationship, because the permit is being granted more so on the relationship of that person to you, the work permit or study permit holder. Very important to know that. So a significant part of the application is going to be based on proving that you guys are actually together, right? Now, marriage fraud and relationship fraud is one of the most prevalent and popular fraud in any immigration process, not only in Canada, but in the US, in the UK, and different places around the world. So immigration officers are particularly skeptical when it comes down to proving relationship of both parties. As I said, if you're married and if there's kids involved and you are able to show marriage certificate and birth certificate of the kids and stuff like that, there's actually little to no room to speculate that the relationship might be a marriage fraud, right? Especially if all the documents are legit and everything is intact. As I said, you guys have joint assets and all of those things. Now, as a common law, of course, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. And especially if you're a common law, typical common law like what exists in Jamaica, where I'm from, is things are not so formal. In terms of, I know that you guys are not married, so there's no marriage certificate, but there's not enough proof to show that you guys are together. In terms of, you guys don't really have joint assets, joint bank accounts, stuff like that, to show that you guys have been together for an extended period of time. Sometimes it's oftentimes just persons living together and just doing them thing. Everybody know that they're together, but if they are being asked to prove that they're together, then that's usually a different thing, and that's where the complication comes in. So how do you mitigate that factor? How do you prove to IRCC that, hey, we are actually together in a common law relationship? Okay, now let's talk a little bit about what is a common law relationship. Now, as per Canada definition of a common law relationship, it's deemed to be two persons sharing a personal relationship, sexual or otherwise, living underneath the same roof for at least 1 year. Now, other countries might say a common law is determined by 2 years, 3 years, depending on the country. But in Canada, you just need to be living together in a personal or sexual relationship or otherwise for at least 1 year. So if you're living together 1 year in Jamaica, you are in a common law union. Now, a common law union in Canada is very, 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 I would say, not important, but it is a big deal in terms of if you're in a common law and you should separate, then your spouse can definitely bring you to court and still be eligible for 50% of your asset, or it depends on the separation agreement or the allocation of assets, even if you guys are not married. So a common law is a significant thing here in Canada, right? Now you want to prove to IRCC that, hey, I am actually in a relationship with this person. Now, IRCC documentation, you're gonna get what is called a common law declaration form, where you complete the form, your spouse complete the form, and you get it notarized by a notary public or even a JP, depending on whatever country you're in. It can be a JP or notary public, or it gives you specifications as to who can witness that form. Now, that form in of itself is a declaration to say that, hey, John Brown and I, or Mary Jane and I, are in a relationship for this period of time, living together at this address for that period of time. Now that's the start. Now because that form is so easily attainable, and especially in Jamaica, it's so easy to get somebody to witness that form, even if you are not together. IRCC don't necessarily only rely on that form itself to prove common law relationship. So instead, now you're gonna have to be very creative as to how you're gonna put on your application to prove your relationship. Now, a significant or one good way to do that is shared assets. If you guys have shared assets, then that would be a good thing to put on the application. Like, for example, if you guys have a joint house in both persons' name in the mortgage, if you guys have a car with both persons' name on the car, if you guys have joint bank accounts with both persons' name on the bank account, especially if it is that you are able to get a bank letter that shows when the bank account was open and when both persons were added to the account, that's a significant thing that can definitely go in your favor. The other thing that you can use is utility bills, right? Utility bills, at least 3 to 4 months of utility bills in both persons' name, or one bill in one person's name and the other bill in the other person's name, to show that these persons are getting mail to the same address, right? So the same address equal common law union, right? Exactly. So you have to think about that as well. So if it is that you have plans, and I always tell people this, if it is that you have plans to apply for a common law spouse, be proactive. Be proactive in terms of getting both persons joint on the account a couple months at least before applying for the permit. Get the bills formalized in both persons' name, or one person in one bill, one person in the other bill, as early as possible, so that by time it's time for you to apply, then you guys have all of these assets now, or stuff that you can show that you're actually living together and prove that you guys are in a common law relationship, to supplement that common law declaration form. Especially if it is that you guys don't have children. If you guys have children, you guys can also include the birth certificate of the kids to show that both persons are the parents, mother and father of this child, clearly stated on the birth certificate, right? So that the immigration officer can get a clear indication that you guys are actually together, right? So those are just some of the tips that I can share with you guys in terms of make sure that the bank account is joint, shared assets, house, car, land, whatever the business, whatever the case may be, and utility bills. Very important. Now, what a lot of persons tend to do as well, in addition to that, because you are trying to prove a case, and that's what it is really with immigration. You know, with immigration, you're really just trying to prove a case. So in proving a case, think about anything, any document, anything whatsoever that you can present to show somebody that you're actually in a common law union. So if a friend of yours, a family member, come to you and say, hey, are you in a relationship with that person? You're going to say yes. They're going to say, okay, then how long? You're going to say at least for 1 year. Are you guys living together? Yes. Prove it. What would you use to prove it to that person? It's the same concept. It's the same exact concept. What would you use to prove it to that person? Think about that and then present those same documentation to prove it to the immigration officer, because ideally you're proving it to the immigration officer that you guys are actually together, right? Exactly. That's how you go about doing that. Some persons go as far as including photos, right? You can include photos from when you guys just started talking to where you are right now. So of course physical features change, so they're gonna see that, okay, then you guys were together from when you could catch water in the collarbone of that person, or when that person was slim and trim. Now they are a little bit more voluptuous kind of thing. They can see that, okay, then there's a natural progression of this relationship. They are here, that stage, now they're here. So present photos as well. Presenting photos as well is a very good way to go about proving your relationship as well, right? Be proactive, guys. Be proactive. Be proactive in your immigration journey, right? Don't be reactive. Don't be reactive. Get things in place that you know is gonna benefit you by time or when you're ready, right? Now, common law unions are very difficult to prove that you guys are actually living together and actually in a relationship. So focus on presenting whatever documents you have to prove that you guys are actually living together, you know, in a common law relationship, because you're actually just proving it to somebody, right? Don't just rely on the common law declaration form to say that you are together, because they know how easily attainable it is to get a witness to your signature and all of those lovely factors. All right, guys. Now that's the best tip I can give you as it relates to applying for an open work permit for a common law partner in terms of documentation that you may need. I'll try to do another video where I go into the actual process of applying for the spousal open work permit and how you can get your spouse and dependent children in Canada with you. I would like to say it's a very straightforward process, and it depends on the province that you're going. You might not need to show that significant amount of financial resources, because immigration knows that the person is applying to work. So henceforth, the financial obligation is a bit reduced or relaxed, right? So look at it that way, guys. If you like the video, like the video. I simply say that to say, hit that like button if you like the content. It really helps me out, guys. Don't just watch the video, like the content, like the value, like the information, but don't hit the like button, guys. That's not really helping me out. You scratch my back, I scratch your back. That's how it is. So if you like the video, like the video. Really helps me out, guys. Also, guys, if you're feeling up to it, drop a comment. That also helps me out as well. And subscribe. Subscribe. Those things are all free, and those things really help me out. All right, guys? So help me out by leaving a like, dropping a comment, and subscribing to the channel if you haven't subscribed already, and join the community. You know how we do it here, guys. We share our experience unfiltered, and you know what I think, guys. You guys have been here forever, right? Share some videos as well, guys. If you feel like there is value in some videos, and you know persons who are on the journey as well, and who can benefit from the information that we present, don't hesitate to share the video so that they can also benefit as well from our experience. All right, check out all the links in the description, guys. You know how we do it here. Check out our Calendly. We have our different kind of services: career coaching, letter of explanation review, and from scratch, one-on-one. You can talk to me and Nats, or me and Nats, to find out about our own journey coming as an international student. How was that? And all of those lovely things, guys. Check it out. There's so many benefits to finding our Calendly. So check it out and see if that's if there's anything that can help your journey to make it a little bit easier than our journey. All right, guys. Check out all our social media links as well. Our Instagram is DiAndersons Originals. I'll drop it right here. DiAndersons Originals. Check us out on Instagram. Check us out on TikTok at DiAndersons, and check us out on Facebook at DiAndersons. Please, guys, give us some love, give us some support. We really appreciate it. Until next time, take care of yourself, and see you guys in the next video, guys.